Woo. And welcome to the fellow Cockrum channel viewers. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. It helps this channel grow and it helps me bring you these great videos that we all love. So, something a little different today. We've gone old school with the Nitro setup there. I'm pretty excited about this because I've been working on this other Nitro project here with the toy-in engine, this little 4-stroke guy here. It's going to be super cool. But this is going in a trail truck, right? So slow moving. This is a little bit fast moving, more of a race car. So it looks like we got kind of a pretty generic box from HSP here. So you can see all the different versions and models that you can get. They all pretty much have the same motor in them and drivetrain, and it's the same with their electric versions too. Like they all kind of based around the same electric package as well. So let's open this up and take a look at what they give us. This is basically the cheapest ready to run Nitro car that you can get, and they had a couple different body choices in the on-road version. There's what it looks like, packaged in the box. The radio stuffed in there too. So let me cut it out and then we'll get it on the table here. Okay, so here's everything that you get in the box there. Here's the controller. It's got a little lid thing on there to get to the extra controls and stuff like that. But then to drive it, I've got this Mustang body that I showed on a previous video that I've yet to paint, but this is what it's going to look like. But I'm using this lighter kind of anodized blue. This car is really geared for the beginner, especially if you're new to Nitro, which is good. They have a pretty good instruction and startup procedure thing. I'd advise you to go on some videos if you're new to this. So here's the car itself. Looks pretty nice. Sorry, it's almost identical to the Red Cat car, and there looks to be parts available. Every single part looks to be available for this car. So there's our little motor and our gas tank and air breather there. That's the compartment for the batteries for the radio system and stuff. So as you can see, yeah, it comes ready to go. It does have a glow plug in it. That's good. So it just needs batteries and fuel right now, which I have that. Just to go over a few of the screws, like you should do with every RC. You should always go over some of the screws, especially if you find some loose ones, and go over the thing 100%. There might be a few areas that you might want to put some Loctite too, especially on a car like this. It's a Nitro that's going to be running high speed. Really cool car. It's got tons of adjustment on, as you can see, all the linkage and everything on it. Look at the shock towers, all kinds of adjustment there, right? So again, this same chassis is used on a whole bunch of different cars. They just put a little bit longer arms and different suspension on it to make the truck versions and the buggy versions and stuff there out of these things. But this is 4-wheel drive, shaft driven, if I didn't mention that. It's also got a braking system inside there where I'm pointing, so it's the reverse of your throttle servo. If you hit the reverse, it's going to actually pull the little brake that brakes the whole central drivetrain on the car. So yeah, really cool. This makes kind of a little bit of noise, and the smell. That's kind of the other reason nothing replaces the smell of the Nitro. The electric cars, can almost outperform them, and most do nowadays, especially with some modifications. But these cars have that sound and that smell that you just can't beat. So okay, so that's a closer look at the HSP 10th scale on-road racing car. Pretty happy with this. I think it's going to be really cool. Okay folks, it's time to start this thing up. As you can see, I got the 66 body all painted up. It could get a little noisy here because it's a busy time of the day, but we've got a brand new temperature gun and heat gun, fresh bottle of fuel, we've got new glow plugs there, we've got a new glow plug igniter, we've got a bottle to catch some of the oil instead of it going onto the brass. And 85 degrees right now, so we want this engine to be breaking in at approximately about 240 degrees. So There's a couple ways you can do it, but one of the preferred ways is we're going to use a heat gun here. So I'm going to put the heat gun on. I'm going to bring the temperature up to the motor for about 200 plus degrees. Then we're going to fill it up with fuel, and then we're going to do its first pull start. You definitely want to heat up the bottom, because it's really hard to get down there in the block of the engine. So I marked the bottom dead center on the flywheel, on the start wheel there, so you can see it a little bit better. I also cracked the glow plug a little loose to get it started, and then we'll tighten it back up when it's going. Need to idle up probably a touch there. Okay, so she's turned along good. I'll just back down the idle a bit. About 200 or so at the head. Okay, so this is up to the 4th or 5th tank there, I forget there now. Everything's been going good. You can see we got lots of oil collecting in our bottle here, which is good. I'm really glad I got the heat gun, because it's really hard to keep the temperature up, especially when you're running rich with lots of oil on a break-in. The engine wants to run cool because of that, and it's really hard to keep that temperature up. So I was using the heat gun as I was running the motor to keep that heat up as close as I could get it to 240. It's really tricky to do. So anyway, all good. So next stage is to start doing some little bit of driving. I'm going to run one more tank through it, and then we're going to start driving it around, just idling to run a couple more tanks before we start the final tuning.